artificial intelligence can now replicate itself. And here we are worrying about if there's enough shilajit in our test boosters. Scientists warn of a critical red line as AI intelligence models demonstrate self-replication. I'm just saying, should we slow down with AI a little bit, or it can draw funny pictures of rabbits, so let's press on.
One of my favorite ways to assert my dominance on the trail as a female hiker.
Do you have to assert dominance on a hike? I was thinking more nature and smiling.
Is when I see a guy pass me, I
say hello.
Is when I see a guy pass me, I ask him, oh, was that your wife that just passed me like a mile ago? Obviously making the assumption that there was another woman that passed them. And every single time they get so defensive and they're like, what? No.
Probably because he was confused at someone he doesn't know telling him that his wife was ahead of him when that wasn't his wife.
And every single time they get so defensive and they're like, what? No.
When bro trains UFC once. Gold's gym vest, Under Armour shorts and no shower for 2 weeks. That went about as expected. This happened at a Roadhouse restaurant, and in the end he was apprehended. And that is why takeaways were invented. But remember,
it's cool to be different. It's cool to be different. It's cool to be different. You don't gotta look like her. You don't gotta look like him. It's cool to be different.
Have they never heard of the 5-second rule? Don't worry, someone else will clean it up. Maybe from another angle? It's like one of those open world games that you don't know what to do. Do I go that way? This was sent to me recently, but it's from many years ago. Kenny O'Neill, amateur bodybuilder. Agreed. Blimey, he's been training his lateral raises hard. I'm guessing he didn't win. And he's still dropping knowledge.
The basic stuff I do, I've done since I was 12, 13. I still do that stuff today. Just the basics, because the basics work.
The basics do work. I couldn't agree more. But you do a bit more than the basics.
I know that you guys look through the internet and you guys try to find this stuff. Like, what's the trick? What's the trick?
Taking anabolics and lying to your fans?
They told us, the greats before us, told us what the trick is.
A good pharmacist, or a bad pharmacist, whichever way you want to look at it.
Consistency, the basics, be good on the diet and recover.
What were you thinking? At least people don't believe him. No secret sauce, all work and no shortcuts. Just do the best we can do with consistency. It's not his training advice, which is actually very good, and posts like this are also good. Fit body, calm mind, and a house full of love. It's the decades of lying and arrogance when questioned about it. Here is his fat-burning supplement, Dissolve. The reviews are in. The review is in. It's okay, but not a repeat purchase. I would say this leaves you feeling nauseous. Is exactly how I feel about most fitness celebrities.
I've always wanted to do that.
Someone tell Togi I want to go cycle for cycle. Well, this is going to go well. 20 years old and proudly juicing. More artificial, not so much intelligence.
It came to my attention that I've done so many anabolics now and research chemicals that I might as well rank them all.
They're not Star Wars movies, mate. Another 20-year-old that has made a moronic decision to jump on gear when he's a literal novice in the gym. Did I hyper-respond in 3 months? I mean, yes, but in more ways than one. Even with the terrible lighting, you can't hide the effects the juice have had on your arms, back and face. And I don't mean the muscle growth.
Would you ever take?
I'm already on.
You're on. Was social media any influence on your decision?
It was more like YouTube, I guess.
Should have watched The Bold Guy.
Would you ever consider taking steroids?
I'm on steroids.
You're on steroids?
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you training naturally before that?
About a year.
A year. How old are you?
I'm 21.
21.
Training a year and now using PEDs for aesthetics.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Just for the aesthetics.
Damn.
The looks, yeah.
If anyone didn't think this was a real issue, think again. 6 months ago you made a choice. A dumb choice, and it's paying off, as your medical bills will be needing. If you carry on this stupid life decision, don't follow these stupid Insta bros, jumping on Source at 20, hoping to become a fitness superstar. Stay natural, work hard, and let your body grow as intended. Noel Deyzel is a well-loved bodybuilder who owns a supplement company, Rise.
Oh yeah! Rise Kool-Aid pre-workout. Well, the flavor's so good, it makes you say, oh yeah, oh yeah.
If there's one thing I learnt in the cult, it's drink the Kool-Aid. I don't know why all the women had to go to Leader's cabin at night though. Strange time to hold a book group. Anyway, he became popular from being nice and honest, which shocked the fitness industry. But it is his other videos recently that have garnered a lot of attention and a bit of controversy. He is noticeably decreasing his mass for health reasons.
Is Noel losing mass? Yes, I've lost a considerable amount of mass over the last few months on purpose. Look at this big chungus though. But in all fairness, being at 310 pounds is a chore. You're tired all the time, it's hard to breathe, your sleep sucks, and it's just hard to live a normal life. Also, I prefer the way I look around 260, 270. Because frankly, fellas, I want to be here for a good time and a long time.
I mean, he's still huge, but again, the acknowledgement that there is no biological free lunch and that he's aware of that fact. Then he had a minor surgery, which I don't know what it was for, it might be unrelated, and made this video.
What would happen if you stopped taking steroids but continued working out? Well, I came off everything in February, and that was about 7 months ago. And I've only been on my prescribed TRT. I have been in a deficit, but this is what I look like right now. I am smaller, my recovery is slower, and I do have less energy and strength. But health is important.
So again, he is consciously decreasing his bodybuilding lifestyle. There is some debate into the comments as to whether he is just on a TRT protocol now, but I think the main point here is there's a guy who has openly been taking PEDs and an extreme bodybuilding lifestyle, cutting back, as in his own words, he wants to be around longer. I certainly hope he is, and I wish him the best. I got a few comments under my last video linked above and below for anyone who missed it, that the Liver King has some powerful abs, let's call them.
Huge protruding abdomens that do not appear to be fat, because you still see a six-pack ripped on top of it.
Derek, Joe Rogan's friend, released a podcast with Peter Attia, and one topic they touched upon was the distended stomachs in bodybuilding.
And the thinking was, well, is this just organomegaly, right? Are their organs just getting bigger?
So that has been the traditional understanding of why it occurs. And whilst PED abuse, of course, may contribute to this distended stomach and enlarged organs, there is another reason that Derek raises.
Yeah, I think it is multifactorial, but there is seemingly, I think the largest cause of it now is significant distension caused by the excessive food intake and the result of significant gastrointestinal issues that result from the absurd diet models. Because to get that many calories in, get that much protein, carbs often.
The amount of calories elite bodybuilders have to eat to build and sustain their physiques is sometimes not as discussed as the PEDs, but another area in terms of what an extreme lifestyle it can be.
Hard pressed to find somebody who has like an aesthetic vacuum. And
Except for presumably natural bodybuilders are more likely to, or?
Yeah.
Is another example of something that's very frustrating to me. This is knowable. Like literally take the bodybuilders, throw them into an MRI scanner, you can get organ volumes on everybody. Like, so many of the questions that we have here that we're not getting resolution to are knowable.
But no, he is right. We could have far more research into bodybuilding issues such as distended stomachs and other risk factors, which could ultimately help with safety in the future.
It's not like we're asking, is there life outside of the solar system?
Yeah.
We're never going to know the answer to that.
You've come to the right man, Peter. The James Linker experience for all your giant alien egg needs.
But there are guys dying with hearts 3 times the size of what they should be. So there's certainly, organ enlargement systemically for sure.
And without naming names, many prominent bodybuilders and fitness influencers who've abused PEDs who have passed at 30 years or younger. See you soon.